Hey guys, Jess from Curse here. We're here at the EA booth at E3 2013, and I've got Sebastian from EA with me. He's going to answer a few questions we have about FIFA 14. First of all, thanks so much for taking the time to speak with me. How are you today?
I'm really good, and thanks for coming. So it's always important to meet you guys.
Well, my first question is about precision movement. I understand it's been in the making for about 2 years now. This is something that FIFA players have wanted for several years. So why didn't you tell the community that it was coming?
Because for us, so we always work in technologies that because we want to innovate. And there are things that take longer than a year or are too risky. So until they are not ready, until we feel they are not ready, we cannot go and tell, okay, we're working on this. So there are many, many things that we think we're on the works or risky things and we want to try it out. So when we feel that the technology is ready, we go and open it up to the public.
So after the recent playtest, a lot of the community members said that Protect the Ball was kind of hit or miss. Can we expect any changes upcoming for that?
Of course, so the game that they are playing at the moment is 65% complete. So for Protect the Ball, we're still missing some coverage of animations. So when you're going, like, for example, straight to a guy and you start protecting the ball, because we don't have the animation, it's not playing. So it's kind of clunky in that sense. It's 65% done. So.
Oh, sure. So of course there are going to be more changes, of course. Well, so now that kind of segues into my next question. Back to precision movement changes. So in recent years, it seems like you guys have been kind of reverting back to previous changes from previous builds. So players are worried that something similar is going to happen with precision movement. Can you comment on that?
No, not really. It's here for stay. So what happens is that usually when people check the work in progress builds, sometimes so the things are not balanced, are not tuned. So what happens is that probably you have the first touch control that it sends the ball too far away. So people feel that it's too exaggerated or that it's broken. The reality is that we're balancing the game, so it's 65% done. Precision movement, everything else is going to be there. It's just balancing and tuning. That is what we're doing right now.
Okay. And well, just how much of an effect did precision movement have on the current game? Because I know that, going back to those balance changes, I know several balance changes were necessary. Can you talk any more about specific balance changes?
So precision movement will change a lot how the game is played. In the sense that it makes the game more football, because it allows you to, or allows us to preserve the momentum, the inertia of the players. So you can't sprint all the time, because when you try to make a turn, like a hard turn, how we call it, you will see the momentum, the inertia of the players. It gives the defenders an opportunity to steal the ball. If you're the defender and you want to rush towards the guy, what is going to happen is a little movement from the striker, it's going to let you done. So you're done. So you have to change your game. You have to adapt to these new changes. It's a very important change. It feels much more natural, but people will have to get used. A seasoned player will have to master FIFA again.
When can we expect more news for career mode and for Ultimate Team?
For Ultimate Team, we're going to be talking about in the future, the same for online. What we can tell is that in career mode, there are two main things that we're doing. So one is the UI. We're completely changing the UI, so it's much more intuitive. We're removing a lot of the frustrations, so now you have the energy right there. You don't have to access 3 levels deep. The emails are not going to interrupt the simulation all the time. Like, we listen a lot to the community to fix a lot of the frustration, at the same time making it much more state-of-the-art and convenient to play. In addition to that, we're adding what we call global transfer network. That what it is, so people usually say, okay, career mode is only fun outside gameplay during the transfer window when you're signing the contracts and all of that. But with global transfer network, all season long, so you start scouting for players using trades, so how real managers do in real life. So when you get to the transfer window, you know who you want to target. It's for discovering new players. It's fantastic.
Yeah, that sounds really great. So now I want to switch and talk about next-gen consoles a little bit. How much has Ignite been a collaboration between the different franchises?
Oh, it's super important. So Ignite, between EA Sports, so we got together all the different franchises in EA Sports, and we talked, we said, okay, the only way to progress forward is aligning on the technologies, aligning on what we want to do, and that was the start of Ignite, and it's very important for us.
So are you going to be able to make use of technology that was designed for other games in any way?
Yeah, so it's an engine, but it gets adapted, the technology, to each game, so each game uses whatever it makes the most sense for them. But for example, step-based locomotion, that is the technology behind precision movement, or the technology behind true step in Madden. So it's something that, okay, the base technology is built, and then each game adapts bits and pieces, so where it makes sense for each game.
Okay. And so now we've seen some of the bullet points for Ignite and what kind of things it can do. Can you be more specific about what things that Ignite can do that the current gen cannot?
Well, there are many things in terms of the crowd, things that we couldn't do like in current gen. In terms, there is something that we call, so I can tell you in terms of FIFA what we're using from Ignite, something that is technology we call future physics. So the feature is Pro Instinct. What that allows us, so what do we have in the current generation is that we can collide and we have a fantastic response and simulation after the collision happens. So we know that the collision happens and we react. What we can do with the technology of Ignite in the next generation is that we have awareness that a collision is going to happen. So we can adapt the body so the collision actually doesn't happen. So what this means is that on the current generation we have a collision, but in the next generation they will avoid the collision and they will continue playing. So the game is much more fluid because they have awareness of what is going to happen.
Okay, great. Can you comment on why Ignite was not on the PC set?
Well, it's being developed for the next generation of consoles. We'll see what's going to happen in the future. I don't know.
So it's a possibility that Ignite is coming for the PC?
I don't know. We'll see. It's like, for example, we are using parts of it when step-based locomotion that was being developed for 2 years. So we are using parts of it on 360, PS3, and PC. So there are things that we'll see in the future if it makes sense for continue leveraging and see how we can use it. But for technology reasons, not everything can be used.
Okay, sure. Now, how much has the team been split between kind of developing for the current gen and the next gen consoles? Has it been kind of difficult to divvy up who goes where?
Well, yeah, it was difficult for us when we were assembling the teams for developing this. In terms of FIFA, we have 2 different teams. So one is developing the game on 360, PS3, and PC, and we have the other team that is developing for Xbox One and PS4.
Okay, great. And my last question is, what's Simon Humber been up to? Because I understand the community just loves him, so I just want to know what he's been doing lately.
I love Simon too. Simon is a creative director of FIFA, so he's there like bringing his fantastic ideas all the time to the game.
Just being creative, basically, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, once again, thank you so much. Once again, I'm Jess from Curse, continuing with your E3 2013 coverage. This coverage has been brought to you by Alienware. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the game.
La combinación del fútbol.
Messi! What a goal!
Enjoy the game.